know the match finishes Forest 4. Who did we play? Ferencvaros 0. And absolute nation of domination, man. APA settings. Forest were unreal tonight. It's a shame. It's a shame. The cynic in me is like, had Gibbs White scored that penalty, Forest would have qualified 4th in the Europa League if we'd picked up 3 points. But they got the job done. And actually, if my maths works out well, Forest have now put themselves in a position where we cannot get Lyon or Villa until the semis and the final. So Forest will be in the most bottom left quadrant. Villa and Lyon will get split either side, but they'll be in the top side of the draw. Forest will play either Panathinaikos or Fenerbahce, I think it is. And then if they go through, it'll be a rematch against either Michelin or Betis. But look, we'll break all that down as it happens. But it's actually worked out quite nicely for Forest if the table I'm looking at is correct and up to date. So look, Forest had to go out there and do a professional job. They did. Let's not beat around the bush. Ferencvaros have not lost in the Europa League. If I'm right, let me just double check my random claim there. Ferencvaros had not lost. They'd won 4 and drawn 3. And yeah, I was really impressed with every player. Every single, I don't think anyone had a bad game. Special standouts for me were McAtee, Sangare, and Ryan Yates. I thought Ryan Yates was absolutely sensational. So I can't lie to you. Look like Pirlo in that midfield. But yeah, no complaints. Jesus, brilliant as well. Honestly, not one bad player out there. And it's a bit like I said before the match. Forest will win this and they'll win it quite comfortably because there's no pressure on. Just go out and play your football. We were passing the ball around. There was forward passes from Sangare. McAtee was pulling the strings. I thought Dan and Doy looked good until he got into that final third. But there's nothing at all negative for me about the performance. It's a positive on every single player. Even Morato, one bozo moment in the first half. You could kind of say it was more Milenkovic started the fault. Sells only had one real save of note to make off the back of that. But this is what I want to see, chat. This is what I want to see. Just this nice tempoed football where, I mean, let me just have a look at some. I haven't even looked at the stats, but the stats to me feel like they'll be quite good. So let's just bring the stats, or I'll just read them out, save us some time here. So Forest had 55% possession, an XG of 2.56, 20 shots, 5 big chances created as well, 10 shots on target, passing accuracy 83%, 451 passes, and it was all shots in and around the box. It was a nice performance. Now, the thing that gives, how can I say this without sounding disrespectful to Ferencvaros? I don't really care. I'm just going to say it. Ferencvaros went undefeated until they played Forest in the Europa League. The standards of the Europa League are not very high. There should be absolutely no reason why Forest can't get to the semis or to the finals of this competition. Absolutely no reason whatsoever. The squad is deep enough. The players are good enough. This is now showing me it's a mentality thing. We've got to play without that pressure, and the boys can play good football. I really enjoyed that match. It was nice to see football on the floor, passes being made, forward passes being progressed. I was so impressed with McAtee. You lot can hold the L on that. I told you last games I saw signs of life. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful. How true are they? Go one size up, by the way. So yeah, make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you've subscribed as well. Make sure to check out OK Jerseys. Go a size up is my recommendation. And use code FFTV15 for 15% further off. I like that. Mac 10 shots fired. He was good. And you know what? It was pleasing to see him take the penalty as opposed to Gibbs White. So Yeah, let's get into the player ratings, but I could get used to that style of football. I really could. Now I know they weren't a good team, but Braga were not a good team last week, and we should have played like that. We should have played like that. We really should have. That's my one frustration is we could have had 2 games less because we'd be sitting in fourth. But look, let's not make today negative because I really did enjoy that football. So let's jump into the player ratings. Make sure you've got your votes in as well. Free to do. The link is pinned in the chat for you guys. Matt Sells for me just gets a 7. No higher, no less. Does Jesus still do the anime? What, the Kamehameha? No, he's doing this celebration. And I'll tell you why Sells gets a 7, because he only had to make 1 save. Honestly, did they have any other chances? No. They had 3 shots on target. I can't remember the other 2 shots, but they couldn't have been great shots at all. So 7 for me for Sells. And that's a very good score, by the way. He just did what he had to do. And you guys have gone 7.6 for him. Yes, Stuart, I agree. 7 for Sells because he didn't have much to do. Didn't have much to do. Apart from that 1 mistake from Morato, that's about it. So that's a nice, easy one for Sells. Big up to Tommy Boy. Hey guys, I thought McAtee had a great game along with Yates, and Doy was good too, but I think he was too ball greedy, going for shots when he could have passed. Yeah, I agree. I don't think Ndoye was perfect in the final third. I thought he was really good in the build-up. Big up Jordan, my guy. What are you saying, man? He goes, hey, Wolfie, what a game. Come on, you Reds. Hope you're okay as well. I'm good, bro, but I can't lie. I'm extremely tired. It's been a long week. Thank you for the 199, bud. Okay, let's move it on into Zach Abbott. I was really impressed with Zach Abbott. Let's just bring him up. What I like, I'd say one of the disappointments for me today was maybe we should have seen a bit more of the youth. What's his name again? Zach Abbott. Hey, okay, hold on. He's definitely here. So where are you, Zach? 1 sec, guys. I'm so tired. I'm seeing in double vision. There he is. Found him. Okay. You know what I like about youth players is they play with no fear. They play with, if I make a mistake, I don't care. I'm going to do better next time. He was going forward. I like fullbacks that get forward. Couple of times he was, the wrong side of the ball. Doesn't matter. But he was very good touch on the ball, very good link-up play with McAtee. Let's change my score. Overall, I thought he had a very solid game. I'm actually going to give him an 8 out of 10. He was very comfortable today. So let's be honest as well. Don't forget, this is a kid playing for Forest in a European night in front of the world-famous City ground and the crowds. I thought he was very good. I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. A couple of missed passes, Steve, but at that age, I don't mind it. I honestly don't mind it. We actually look worse when Gibbs White came on cesspool. We'll come on to him in a minute. Let's see what you guys did. You guys went 7.3. Abbott ahead of Savona, in my opinion. I think Abbott's probably. I dropped my finger, man. Let's move on. That hurt. Okay, Milenkovic. Monsieur Milenkovic. 1 mistake for me, which was the mistake that led to the Morato poor back header to Sells, or attempted to Sells. Outside of that, very light, very easy work. If he broke a sweat, I'd be very surprised. Very comfortable, very strong on the ball yet again. The pace of the game was very comfortable with him. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Solid performance. I agree. More youth than mediocre overseas signings. Yeah, like these are the games. Again, I don't want to be negative, but if Gibbs White scored the penalty against Sturm Graz, 2 extra points. If Gibbs White scores the penalty against Braga, 5 extra points. Forest go into this game comfortably in the top 8, and you could start some of the youth players, and you could have fresher players for the Crystal Palace game. But what I like about this result, to be back on the positive, happy clapper train, is that Forest go into this Crystal Palace match buzzing now. Absolutely buzzing. Crystal Palace haven't beat Forest. I can't remember the exact year. I think it's like 2012 was the last time Palace have beaten us. So we go into this game with some confidence. Now, I don't want us to go in overconfident. That's important for me. But yeah, I'd rather have a 4-0 win than a 1-0 sweated out performance. So I'm really happy with that performance. It's not even, I just enjoyed seeing some football, chat. It feels like since Real Betis since we've seen a proper footballing performance. But anyway, I've given him an 8. You guys have gone about the same. I've cut myself open. 7.9 for you guys. Morato, look, in general, here's my summary of Morato. I thought he played fine. I actually like that he tries to play the ball forwards and not necessarily sideways to Milenkovic. This is, you guys are probably going to say agenda and stuff on him. My problem is I always feel there's a bozo moment in him. And there was another bozo moment today with that poor header back to the goalkeeper that gave them probably their best chance. Outside of that, I think he had a solid game. And his passes weren't too bad today going forward. But I don't know if it makes sense. I just don't feel comfortable when he's on the pitch. I just always feel like, crap, I need to focus up a little bit here because there might be a moment and I need to make sure that my heart rate is ready for it and things like that. So at least he tries to pass forwards. He can be solid in the defense, but I just feel I've got too many scars with him. Is that being harsh on the way I judge him? Maybe, but that silly moment could have cost us and the game could have turned. I can't remember what the score was at that time. So I'm going to give him a 7. But I will say Milenkovic started that issue with not the greatest of layoff passes to him, but he had plenty of time to sort it out. You guys went 6.9 with him. Morata is the Brazilian Titus Bramall. My God, I know that name in years. He's just a liability to our defense, not a good option, and we need to get rid of him. No good, says Ayo. Swap him for Dunk. I do not want Dunk, man. I thought Dominguez was our worst today. We're about to come on to him, and yet he wasn't bad, and I like him as a player. I hear his passing was a little off today. We'll talk about him in just a second. At left back, Nico Williams. You guys know I love Nico Williams. I think Nico Williams is an exceptional player. But as the season is progressing, this left foot thing is becoming, for me, a little bit of an issue. And I actually think going forward, I would switch him and Einar around. Because I think Einar is strong on his left foot as well as his right foot. What stood out for me today with Nico Williams was when he broke into the box onto his left foot and wasn't comfortable enough to pull the trigger because it was on his weaker side. And we've seen that out on the wing. I love how attacking he is and how he gets forward. But it is a little bit predictable that he will always try and cut in onto his right foot through no fault of his own. That's naturally what you're going to do if you're right-footed and have a weaker left foot. So I like the idea of Nico Williams on the right and Einar on the left. Also, I actually think that helps the balance of the team. Hudson-Odoi and Einar and Elanga were BFFs, right? If you put Einar on the left and you're linking him up with Hudson-Odoi, I actually think we probably see more chemistry there between those two. And Hudson-Odoi, who for me slows the game down too much, maybe we see him come back to life because he's got his mate and he's just, sometimes you just like playing football with certain players, you know what I'm saying? So I think I would like to see that happen just for the set. And I think it improves Nico Williams more. I think he'll be able to, because he's so attacking, he'll be able to get to the byline quicker and put better crosses in because he's putting it on his wrong foot. And also, he has scored from that side as well. Was it against Burnley at the start of the season where he picked it up on the edge of the box and the right-hand side hit it in low? So look, I'm not complaining about his performance. I just think thinking of it tactically and looking forward, it just makes sense to me. However, I will say I didn't want to see him in the starting lineup today. We're not going to learn anything new about Nico Williams today that we didn't already know about how good he is. Therefore, it was a bit risky for me to play him. You could have used one of the younger players or something like that. Because it's not like where I've been saying for the last few weeks, play your strongest team and then pull them off. This doesn't really change our destiny. We're still going to have to go through a playoff. So anyway, I will give him a 7 out of 10. And you guys have gone 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, Sean, I'm not at all criticizing him. I'm just saying I'm pointing out a potential to make him more comfortable and be able to like really flourish even further because he can use his stronger foot. He plays every game, should have taken him off. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, you guys went 7.5 on him. Guys, please do hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well. There's 1,000 of you in here, you absolute legends. But we're only on 207 likes. Let's get that sorted out nice and quick. Okay, let's move on into the midfield. Let's start from the right. Let's go with Sangare. Sangare absolutely bossed that match today. He really did. One sec. Where are you, Sangare? There he is. I enjoyed every facet of his performance today. His passing was on point. He looked so much bigger and stronger than their midfield. He's a major reason to why we controlled that game, especially from like halftime to when he came off. He looked very, very good. I think him coming off was the correct move. He needs to be fresh for Sunday. But yeah, he got the assist. That, again, the vision there to play it over the top. Those long balls, I don't mind. When there's space in behind, he's putting it into the space and you're going to have a Jesus running in behind. That to me makes sense. He was pretty faultless today, I'll be honest with you. I'm actually going to go quite high with Sangare and I'm going to give him a 9. And I'm going to remind you guys that I told you so on Sangare. So let's not forget that major point. Let's see what you guys did. 8.1. The agendas are agendaing. The agendas are still agendaing. He was a minimum 8.5, man. He was a minimum 8.5. Okay, let's move on to Ryan Yates. I need someone to double check that wasn't Pirlo tonight. Big up, Johnny. Hope you're good. I thought that was one of the best footballing performances I have seen in a long time from Ryan Yates. Even his dribbling was outstanding today. Outstanding. His passes went forward. He was strong on the ball. We saw hardly any of those silly little fouls he gives away. And he gave me the funniest moment I've seen this season when he looked up, crossed the ball to God knows who. But for some reason, he knew that defender was going to put it into the back of his own net. Where I become serious about him was that slide tackle that turned into an assist. I loved that. And in general, I just thought, look, even his little Berber spin looked good. He won a free kick from that. Even his shot in the box on his weaker foot wasn't too bad. I don't think there was a single thing he did wrong today. He was actually brilliant. Brilliant tonight. He's actually close to me for a 10. I don't think it's quite a 10. I think it's like a 9.5. But you'd be hard. If anyone picked Ryan Yates for man of the match tonight, I wouldn't really argue. So I'm going like a 9.5 for Yates. His progression of the ball was good. It was very good. Was Yates that good? That he was, Johnny. Honestly, he was. He was. I haven't seen him play like that for ages, man. For ages. I think we would have finished 4th NFFC. I think we would have finished 4th if we won that one. Let's see what you guys did. Am I overglazing him? I've never overglazed him. So let's see. You guys went a whole 1 below me, 8.49. It's still a very good score. I think he was a bit higher than that. I think his attitude as well tonight was excellent. I think his attitude as well. Wolfie gave Yates a 9. Remember this man? I gave him a 9.5, bro. I just don't have half points on this controller. Like, you know, well shocked, man. Like I always say, if someone plays well, I will say they've played well and I will praise them for playing well. If someone plays crap, I will call them out for playing crap and doing it. It is just my opinion, but I ain't going to glaze around it. If someone's played crap, I'm not going to be like, well, you know, his toenails were about 3 millimeters longer than they normally are, and that's probably played on his mind. And no, you were crap, you're crap. You played well, you played well. And here's my reasons as to why you played well. And you know what, Jonathan? This is the comment of the night. I've been screaming out for 4-3-3 for goddamn months. And shock horror with 3 in the midfield that we had. And they're not even our best midfielders. Ranieri is not, as good as he played tonight, he's nowhere near our best midfielder. Now just imagine. And this is why I'm annoyed. This is why I'm annoyed about Douglas Luiz going. Imagine going Douglas Luiz, Sangare, and Anderson as your midfield 3. Don't tell me there's a lot better midfield pairings than that. It's just some of the stuff this club does sometimes is absolutely baffling. It really is. And then you got Dominguez, you can like as your backup, and then Ryan Yates if he wants to put a performance in like that. Fantastic. Anyway, let's move on and talk about Dominguez. I actually thought Dominguez was probably out of the midfield 3. I'd say he finished 3rd, if that makes sense. I think he's been overused as of late. I still think his performance was fine. Don't get me wrong, but some of his passes were just a little bit off for me, just a little bit off. So I don't think he stood out to me like Sangare and Yates did. And did he come off? Did he get subbed off? I can't even remember. He better have done because he was looking quite tired. Did he come off? Yeah, he came off in the 84th minute. For me, I would have taken him off about the 70th minute. About the 70th minute. Keep Dyche. No, I'd sack him tonight, bro. I don't know how much more clarification I can give. Then, even if he wins the league, I'd still sack him. But yeah, I just thought average performance, not bad, but not like stood out. So I'll give him like a 7 out of 10. Douglas Luiz never looked good. Go watch back the Villarreal match and then come back to me. You guys have gone 7.3 with him. 7.3. Okay, so that's the start in midfield. Let's get into the attacking lineup. And let's talk about McAtee. Some of these players we've hardly used, man. Outstanding. There's this trait that certain footballers have, okay? And when I say this name, I am not likening McAtee to this player. This player is my all-time favorite player of all time. Not only is he the greatest footballer I've ever seen, he's also the greatest manager I've ever seen. Well, I've seen Clough, so okay, second greatest manager I've ever seen. There are certain players that when they have the ball, they look like they can play slowly and they have 5 yards of space around them. And that, for me, the best player at doing that was Zidane by a country mile. Today, every time McAtee got the ball, if he wanted to move it quick, he had space. If he wanted just to slow down to let the midfield catch up and what have you, not Des Little. Des Little. If you just put me off with that comment, you bastard. His passes, I'll say this, there was passes that didn't make their target, but I actually like the passing attempts in terms of the idea behind him. He was going through the line, trying to play either Igor Jesus in or one of the runners coming through. His crosses were very good. I thought his free kick was pretty decent as well. And his corners were okay. But it was the tempo of his play, and he was dribbling at players, and the players were backing off him because they started to get scared. That, for me, is now the second time I've seen signs of life. In the first game, when I called him out as man of the match last week against Braga, because I saw signs of life in him, and I wanted to see more of him. Today, I saw everything that makes me feel that, okay, I can now start to feel like I can trust him. And this is the thing with me, it's a trust issue. He cannot, I said many times, he does not have the excuse of a Bakwa, of an Ndoye, of an Igor Jesus. This guy has been in the Premier League for long enough before he was at Forest. He knows the league, he knows the language, he knows the country, and so on and so forth. There was no excuse for him to not hit the ground running. And not only do we see him not hit the ground running, he couldn't even kick a ball at times. Today was the absolute polar opposite. I'd say like 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10 times, everything was absolutely on the money. Passes were good. The decisions were correct. And he looked relaxed. He looked relaxed. Now, it seems like his missus is pregnant or maybe just had a baby or he's just knocked her up or whatever it is. I don't know exactly. Maybe that's been something that's playing on his mind. Believe you me, for all the guys out there, when you get that call to say, hi, just to let you know I'm pregnant, your butthole does pucker up, okay? It doesn't matter if he's your first kid or your 100th kid. It puckers up, okay? So maybe I'm trying to buy him an excuse here, but he looked very relaxed today, okay? And he played relaxed, and I like that. I like that a lot. So I'm going to give him, he's a 9.5 out of 10. If a couple of those through balls went through, he'd have been a 10 out of 10. Nice penalty as well. I think the keeper probably saves it if he goes the right way, but outstanding performance to him and well overdue. You guys have gone a 9.1, which is extremely high. Bloody hell. I see a lot of you like Sean, etc., saying man of the match. And I think he's got a great shot. This man of the match is going to be very interesting. I think this could be a very tightly contended man of the match. Okay, let's move on from him. And who was on the other side? Ndoye. All right, while I'm bringing Ndoye up, we're only on 292 likes, guys, and 1,000 of you in here, man. Like, how are we not even at 300 likes? Come on, I'll give you a little graphic. There you go. Like, no, the graphic. Even the graphic's not working. The graphic ain't graphicking. All right, so make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you've subscribed as well if you are new. Okay, Ndoye, if football stopped at the penalty box, Ndoye would have been a 10 out of 10. I just think his work in the penalty box was a little rushed and a little panicky, and some of the decisions were slightly wrong. But I loved, it almost felt like a different Ndoye to the Ndoye we've seen from game week 2 to today. There was a lot of positives to take out from it. And he looked quicker than he has all season. So maybe he's had to recover a bit longer from that injury, but looked sharper. Maybe needs a bit of match time to get that kind of finishing. Look, should he have squared that ball across? I think shot was the right thing, but I think he needed to go with air on the shot. I like him better on the left side than I do on the right side. I think he played most of his games, or the majority of the games, on the left side for Bologna. I think overall, as a general performance, solid today. Just needs work in that final third. He's a 7 for me. 7 out of 10. You guys have gone 7.4. Listen to your mods before they kick your ass, says Sean. Hit that like button. Facts. Facts. Yeah, crosses were not too bad as well. It's just it within the box. I think that's where he let himself down a little bit today. All right, but still very good scores. Loads of good scores all around at the moment. And then let's talk about the main man. Is he top goal scorer now in the Europa League? So he's played 6, scored 6. And I'm obviously talking about Igor Jesus. I'll tell you what, I liked both his finishes today. Took him early. From distance, okay, like stylistically, they may not have looked like the greatest shots, but it's the fact that he's taken them early. He's so strong, he's busy, and he was actually playing in the box today, which I think made a huge difference. He was in and around the D. I didn't see him dropping into a CDM position to pick the ball up. And you know what? He looked like a good striker today. Good finishing, good movement, good link-up play, good strength. There was everything to like about his performance. Now, yes, there was a bit more space because they were in technically a back 3. But the finishes were good. It's a shame he wasn't able to get his hat-trick. But yeah, we're sitting with the Europa League top goal scorer right now. I think someone has 7. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. Tiffany, is that Tiffany? Oh, Tiffany, I'll bring it up in just a second. Thank you for the coffee. For me, Igor Jesus is an absolute 100% 9 out of 10. And the Europa League just seems to suit his style a lot. He's another one you could argue could be man of the match with those goals. So I'm giving him a solid 9 out of 10. You guys have gone a bit higher, 9.21. I don't know how we're going to sort this man of the match out. And for once, it's well overdue and nice that we're going to have to do it like this, because it's been a minute, chat. It really has, since we can glaze all these performances. So nice to do. Tifts, hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. It says, "Come on, you Reds, played really well tonight. Enjoyable watch." Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyable watch. Thank you so much for the coffee. Told you he would score. He's always going to score, and he's Jesus, man. He doesn't miss. So yeah, 9.2 from you guys, and then we move into the substitutions. So let's run through these quite quickly. Einar came on. Look, I know I just said I want to play Einar on the left, right? I'll be honest with you. Once the substitutions came on, the game was done and dusted. We weren't playing at 100 miles per hour. Okay, so, and nor really should we at that stage. So I thought Einar came on and just did what he needed to do. 7 out of 10 for me. But Einar, there's this nice one block tackle he did in the middle of the park to kill off any potential for a counter attack for them. But again, I don't want him going 100 miles per hour when you're 3 or 4-0 up. It's just not worth risking an injury at that stage. We need him for Sunday. You guys went 6.8 for Einar, which is fair enough. Then next on was Gibbs White. I'm gonna say I agree with Lefty, man. I thought we kind of lost a little bit of control when the likes of Sangare went off and Gibbs White came on and Hudson-Odoi came on. Did we take our foot off the gas? Most likely. Okay, so no major dramas there. I just really liked the shape better when we were in that 4-3-3 with McAtee out on the right. It just looked more balanced. And Gibbs White had a very good goal scoring opportunity, and the shot was crap again. So I'll give him like a 6 out of 10. So what minute did he come on? He came on quite early, 66. So he had time to do it. But it's still the shooting issue for me with Gibbs White. It really is. It really is. Anyway, let's see what you guys gave him. A 5.9. Well, I scored him higher than you lot. Sean don't like Gibbs White. She can't stand him. Oh my God, agendas in the chat. I want him gone, says Jeff. My God, this is your captain. Or you're technically your vice captain you lot are talking about. Anyway, let's move on from that. Next up was Hudson-Odoi. I didn't like his performance today. I just felt, again, it's hard to say this because he didn't need to come on and suddenly win the game for us or anything. My problem with Hudson-Odoi, I just feel he slows. I'm repeating myself. He just slows the pace of the game down too much. The transition is a lot slower when it comes to him. One MFC with the 5 months. Much love to you. Thank you. I just think I like the balance. For me, I think the front three for Sunday should be McAtee, Jesus, and Hutchinson on the left. Something like that. I kind of like that. And I think that could work. So, yeah, we'll see. Christoph says, well done, Forest Derby fan here. Yo, respect that. I'd never do the same back, but I respect it. So I'll give him a 6. A 6. You can't, I don't think you can judge the subs too harshly because their kind of objectives coming on would be, let's just make sure we don't concede anything. We're comfortable. We're not going to go up a place or down a place in the positions for Europa League. Don't come off with an injury and just stretch your legs out a bit. I think it's just kind of that simple. So you can't overanalyze the sub performances for me. You guys have gone to 6.1. I don't know why I went all high there, little voice break, but anyway. And then Murillo came on. I thought he started very strongly when he came on. He looked like, you know what, he was on there for one purpose and one purpose only, to score a goal. And he just broke his ass into the box, tried his best to get it. It didn't come off. And then he just kind of was like, all right, I've had my fun. I'm just going to settle back in and just do my thing. So I thought Murillo was fine, like 6, 7, something like that for me. For Murillo, let's call it 6.5. And you guys went 6.6, very close to what I said there. And then Backward comes on as the final sub, if I'm not mistaken. I'll be honest with you, very limited minutes he got there. I think he should have come on earlier. This for me was a missed opportunity. If I'm going to mark Dyche down on something tonight, it's that players at the stage where Forest is 3 or 4-0 up, give them 15, 20 minutes. Let them start to feel comfortable in the team where there's no pressure on, where he can start to try a few things. He can try and take some players on. And if it doesn't come off, it doesn't really matter. So I don't think he got enough minutes. The minutes he got, he didn't really do too much with. He's like a 5 or a 6 for me. Let's just go a 5. He didn't play many minutes. You guys have gone a 5.7. And that brings us on to, I think that was the last sub, wasn't it, chat? That brings us on to Dyche. Where the hell is he? There he is. All right, we will look at him today. I'm just about stomach looking at him. Oh no, I'm messed this up. Hold on. All right, there you go. All right, there you go. Positives for me, the formation. The formation, 4-3-3, absolutely the right call. I want to see that on Sunday. It's not even up for negotiation. Negatives for me, I didn't want Williams to start. I didn't really want Sangare to start. I didn't want Milenkovic to start. I didn't want Sels to start, if I'm being honest with you. The picture of Dyche on the player ratings. Oh, you like that, Mark? Do you like that? So look, they're minor negatives. Okay, let's get it correct, because it's just the risk factor involved. The other positives, yeah, Gibbs White didn't start. McAtee got a run as well. The other negative I've got is I didn't see the need for the likes of Murillo to come on, especially as he's had a couple of injuries this season. But the positives for me is the style of football today is exactly what I want to see. I can walk away. Look how calm I am today. It doesn't take much to please me, right? Just show me some football. Show me the ball on the ground. Show me some nice passes, some nice attempted passes, some build-up play, and I'm happy. That's all I'm looking for. That's all I'm looking for. So that was correct. The tactically got it spot on, and the tone of the game he got absolutely right. The subs were at the right time. Draws tomorrow for the playoffs. What time is it, man? I might do a quick stream. I've got my freaking scan tomorrow. I'll see if I can get it done. So yeah, in general, I got no real complaints about tonight. No real complaints. Did his job. Got the 3 points. Should have done that against Braga, but it is what it is. All right, man. I'll look it up afterwards. It's at noon. My scan's at 10:45. Is that noon, or is that at like we're starting at noon and we're going to be here for 6 hours noon? Look, guys, the face nose wiping is a habit, a bad one. I know. Yeah, but Carol, man. That one I can deal with. It's that one. That's like, I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. A 9 out of 10. It's that high noon, very good. I am a 9 out of 10. I can't fault too much with it. And as long as the players came unscathed, we go in. The other thing is, the important thing from is we go in with momentum into Palace, which is extremely important. while they got all their dramas going on with the transfers and everything else, I'll do an update video for you guys tomorrow on all those transfers. We're going in a better mindset than they are. Now, that in itself worries me because Forest may do what I fear Forest always do, but we'll talk about that in the build up to it. Let's see what you guys went. Wow, 7.5, man. How is it that me, who's got the biggest Daesh agenda, can still be objective when marking him? Maybe I don't have the biggest Daesh agenda, man. 7.5 from you lot, man. That is... I respect the agendas, I really do. I respect. Well, chuck your scores in the chat. I'm intrigued. Who gave him like a 7 or an 8 or whatever? 9 is real. No real negatives tonight. Yeah, I do agree. I respect the agendas. You guys, once you got your agendas, you can't look past it. I hear it. I hear it. Griffey, you gave him a 0. 8, 7s. 0s, a few, you giving him a 0. 5 says feels generous. 7. I gave him a 7, lost 2 points off his nose. Anyway, agendas will be agendering. Okay, let's do. I'm actually excited to do the man of the match here because I don't even know who we put into the 4 slots. This is gonna be quite fun to do. Please though, hit the like button. We're getting close to 500 likes, which is fantastic. But what are we doing with this man of the match, chat? I don't know. I think for sure there's 2 definite names on there, or 3 definite names. I'm going to say McAtee's on there. Yates is definitely on there for me. Jesus has to be on there. And then it's a case of who gets the 4th slot. We need a 4th name. I'm going to put... I think Sangare was the unsung hero in this, you know. I think Sangare was the unsung. I'm going to put him there as like a kind of dark horse option. Let's put Sangare up there and see if he gets any votes. All right, get your votes in. This should be fascinating to see. While you're voting, double check. Oh, yeah, you know, Atvos should be man of the match as well. He got a goal and an assist for Forest. Now, Sells can't be man of the match. Sells didn't have much to do. I'm not saying he played bad. Milenkovic, one bozo moment. One half bozo moment. All right, let's see which way you guys send this. Wow, that vote is very interesting already. I don't think I could argue with who you guys do give it to, but I think there's an argument to be had for every single one of them that are on that list tonight. You know, Sangare's had 2 sympathy votes, which is interesting to see. Okay, I'll give you guys 30 more seconds to get your votes in. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your man of the match has gone with 55% of the vote to McAtee. You're welcome, chap. Next time I tell you I see a player with signs of life in him, listen to what I'm saying to you. So McAtee won it. Jesus was 2nd. Yates was 3rd. And Sangare got 2% sympathy votes. I feel like I'm leaning towards Yates for my man of the match. I can't believe those words have come out my mouth, but I just feel he had a very heavy impact. Nah, I'll go with you guys. McAtee. I want McAtee to be good. You know what I'm saying? I'll stick with you guys. McAtee. Yates for me was a very close 2nd. All right, so we'll have a transfer video for you guys tomorrow. I know you lot are all freaking what's going on with the transfers, so we'll have an update out for you guys tomorrow. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe as well. I'm going to send you over to my mates over on the catch up. Can you all do me a massive favor and just chuck FFTV raid in their chat? I just want to see you spam their chat so they can't even read their comments. So go do that. Make sure you check out OK Jerseys. Use code FFTV15 for a further 15% up. And I would recommend you go at least a size or 2 up when you make your orders. Thank you for watching. Forest have smashed it tonight. Come on, you Reds. FFTV raid.